The Russians repeatedly derail the rise of China by scripting the Chinese to do things that are remarkably detrimental to Chinese interests, but pretty good for Russian interests. So I'm going to go through each of those, starting with the really big one, which are the Opium Wars. This is when Britain and France are coming at China in order to force China to trade on their terms. This corresponds with the two biggest rebellions of China, the Taiping and the Nian rebellion. So China, it's got Europeans coming at them, plus all of this. So the Russians come on in to the Chinese and say, hey, we can deal with the British and French for you. However, we need to have you sign a couple pieces of paper for us. The Treaty of Aigun of 1858, the Treaty of Peking of 1860, what do? They cede to Russia large swaths of territory in Central Asia and the Pacific coastline. Okay, the second example, in the first Sino-Japanese War, Japan trounces China, boots them from their tributary in Korea, and then the Japanese also want some territory on the Liaodong Peninsula. What the Chinese do is they go to the Russians to help them counterbalance Japan so that Japan doesn't take this Chinese territory in the Asian mainland. Russia gets its buddies, France and Germany, the so-called triple intervention, to gang up on Japan, and Japan looks at it, three great powers, I don't think so. So they bail. From the Chinese point of view, so far so good. Except what the Russians promptly do is take for themselves the very territory that had just been denied to Japan, and the story gets worse. Because all the European powers, or many of them, plus Japan come in and they carve out big concession areas throughout China, so that China's not going to have full sovereignty over its territory for several generations. So instead of one relatively small Japanese concession area, they get foreigners everywhere.